Hello everyone, I'm Sharpedo43 once again bringing you all another Wi-Fi match for Pokemon Sword and Shield. Today we're going to be playing against the Discord app, the one that we all use for communication on the interwebs. We're going to be doing an OU match and yeah, we're going to get into it in a bit. But the team, it's not going to show right here right now, but the team that I'm actually going to use for this match is actually going to be the same one that I used against Mr. Chabri, so you're going to see that in a bit right now. But yeah. So this is the fourth match, and interestingly enough, I actually haven't lost a single match yet. Like, we've done 3 matches in Sword and Shield so far, and I haven't lost a single one of them yet. So that's actually kind of cool that I've been able to hold my own against people in Generation 8, considering I have no familiarity with the meta yet, or maybe not enough familiarity. Like, maybe I can know a thing or two about certain mons, but not everything in general, like in terms of the meta and whatnot. Just because, you know, I haven't really delved into it that much until recently. So yeah, but anyways, as you can see, there's the team. My opponent's team is actually really scary because he has a Dracovish, a Gengar, a Clefable, a Ferrothorn, a Corviknight, and a Conkeldurr. Like, this team is a lot of bulk and a lot of offense, like, combined. It's kind of crazy, honestly. And I've heard things about Dracovish. Dracovish is a mon that's said to have like no switch-ins. Like, even resistant mons don't appreciate hits from Dracovish. So I'm like, I think I saw a match with Hayden of him getting like wrecked with a Dracovish, but like, I don't know. I kind of forget how hard this thing hits. But I heard it can like 2-hit KO Snorlaxes and or I think 1-hit KO even, depending on the sets. And I think it can also hit mons like Ferrothorn really hard. So despite the resistance, I think it has this move called Vicious Rend, which actually causes like a lot of damage for some reason. I don't know. But yeah. So we're gonna be dealing with Dracovish here for the first time ever in a Wi-Fi match, which is, I'll admit, this was one of the things that I was actually scared of when going into this match, because, you know, if Dracovish is what they say he is, then obviously, given the team that I have, I may not have much for it, or at least something on my team is gonna go down, guaranteed most of the time, every time he sends in that freaking Dracovish. So yeah, we're gonna see what we can do though. Hopefully we win, obviously, because that's usually the goal when it comes to these matches. I usually hope to win, but, you know, that may not always happen. So, here we go. Discord. I believe Discord here is going to lead off with, I believe this is a Clefable. Yes, that is the Clefable. I'm going to lead off with Rotom. Now, here with Rotom, I'm actually going to Volt Switch, because no Volt Switch immunity, and I can't really do much with this Rotom against the Clefable, so obviously I have to switch out. I believe here I'm going to go for the Volt Switch and go into Excadrill, because seeing how he led with this freaking Clefable tells me that maybe, just maybe, he's going to try to get the rocks up, because why else would you lead Clefable, honestly, if it's not a stealth rocking set? Usually with Clefable, getting those rocks up can be ideal, especially for a mon like Dracovish to be a part of the team, you know, because stealth rocks will just cripple everything and then just, you know, destroy everything, you know. But anyways, so yeah, here I'm basically contemplating on what I should switch in, and obviously it's going to be the Excadrill, because, again, the rocks attempt. However, as you saw, he stayed, but he actually doesn't end up going for the teleport, or for the stealth rocks. He actually ends up going for the teleport, which I honestly didn't know Clefable could learn on, I'll admit. But I also found that interesting, because this must mean that Baton Pass is also allowed. It's like not banned, basically, which is good to know, because I was actually going to make a team with, I think, Vaporeon, and I was wondering if Baton Pass was still banned in this game. And it's kind of hard to know, because not a whole lot of people do Smogon matches these days, unless it's on Showdown, but I honestly don't know how to use the Smogon forums, honestly. So, go figure. But yeah, here he goes in the Conkeldurr on the teleport, and I'm here thinking of what I should switch in. I do believe I go into Corsola though, which is once again scary, because again, these Conkeldurrs can have knockoff and do a lot of damage. But I really am afraid of the Drain Punch as well, or any fighting type move that this Conkeldurr may have. He does have the Drain Punch, as you can see. So I made the right call in switching in the Corsola here. Although I think now he could go for the knockoff, but I still want to get my rocks up, because if his Clefable or any of his mons have rocks and gets them up, and starts bringing in that Dracovish, we're going to be in some issues, especially when there won't be rocks on his side of the field. So every time he switches around, he won't get punished, whereas I will. So that's kind of what I don't want. I don't want to get like punished for every switch in, unless my opponent does as well. So yeah, I'm getting these rocks up. although at the expense of my Eviolite and the HP that I have on this Corsola. So I think here I have to like decide on what I want to do. This thing is burned because this is guts, obviously. So I decided to just try to go for the strength sap here, hoping I can live another knockoff despite not having the Eviolite. Unfortunately, I do not survive the knockoff, so this time I am going to go down and lose Corsola. I believe here I think I just send in the, I think it was the what's it called, the not Dracovish, the Dragapult. For some reason I get Dragapult and Dracovish confused, but yeah, it's Dragapult because specs, and I know now that it's not a Sylvest given that it got burned by the Flame Orb. So yeah, here he's gonna, or I'm gonna switch into that. I think here I was thinking though, like what I wanted to switch in, but obviously it's gonna be the Dragapult because obviously not a whole lot of my team appreciates the Conkeldurr. As you can see, I have 3 weaknesses to Conkeldurr here. Like I have the Tyranitar, the Excadrill, and the Ferrothorn. I'm actually looking at my team now, and I'm realizing now that this thing has this team has a massive fighting type weakness. And with a mon like with sufficient coverage like Conkeldurr, it's just asking for trouble on my end. But yeah, anyway, so the Dragapult is now here though, so that's what matters. Obviously, the goal here is obviously to just go for Draco Meteors, so that way, he doesn't just. This is also just in case he like brings, you know, something crazy like the what's it called, the Dracovish. I mean, I could have gone for Shadow Ball, but the problem is that, you know, I don't know why I didn't go for Shadow Ball, honestly. But yeah, here I'm just waiting. I think this opponent actually thinks a lot too, honestly. So obviously there's gonna be a little bit of waiting here and there. He goes into the Bloodwing, which is, I guess, a good play, honestly, because I didn't want to go for Shadow Ball for some reason. I guess because, I don't know, I just went for Draco Meteor. Maybe because I just wanted to one-hit KO the Conkeldurr. Oh yeah, never mind. I'm dumb. I know why I went for the Draco Meteor now over Shadow Ball. Because while it is specs, I still think Conkeldurr can still survive it. So I wanted to actually go for Draco just to assure that I KO it if it just so happened to stay in. Because if I don't KO it, it'll retaliate with a knockoff and possibly take out my Dragapult. And if he has rocks up, it'll go down eventually on switching if I happen to switch it out, trying to preserve it or something. So yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's kind of what happens when I don't remember a lot of what happened in these matches. But yeah, either way, I'm gonna go into the Rotom now, and he's gonna go for U-turn, predicting me to switch this Rotom in because I don't want to stay in on -2 Dragapults. And he is gonna get some switch initiative, obviously, and I think he switches in the Clefable again. I could be wrong though, but I do think it's the Clefable he sends in here. Like I said before, this man thinks way too long for his plays, honestly. It's kind of crazy. This is like, I'm wondering, it could be like what, oh jeez, I can't talk, but chances are that this man was probably stalling the timer, given that I'm now at a deficit. Like, at least that was the impression I got. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not gonna say that it was true because I don't know at the end of the day, but like, I kind of got the impression that maybe, just maybe, my opponent was trying to stall here because he was thinking way too much here, honestly. I think even more than Mr. Chabri was, honestly. But yeah, he's gonna finally go into the Gengar now, and I'm fine with this. I'm just gonna go for the Voltage and trying to get an idea if this is Scarfed or not, because my Rotom is Scarfed, so if this thing outspeeds me, this thing is confirmed to be Scarfed. Otherwise, I would have outsped it. So yeah, here we're just waiting because, again, my opponent just taking forever to make a move for some reason. Again, maybe because I'm at a deficit, and maybe he just wants to time out time me out or something. I don't know. These are all just conjectures though, so at the end of the day, there's nothing set in stone. He's gonna go for the Focus Blast, which actually does a lot of damage, surprisingly enough. Kind of makes me wish I did switch in the Dragapult, but that would have been risky because I'm not Scarfed on my Dragapult. And what if this thing was, honestly? Or what if it just went for Shadow Ball straight up, honestly, for damage, honestly? Like, it was not safe, obviously. So I think I made the right play despite taking that Focus Blast, honestly. Because my Dragapult is now healthy, and I know it's Scarfed now, which now gives me the opportunity to send in Dragapult safely, and he's stuck with Focus Blast, forcing him to switch out, obviously. I think it's here now where I decide to go for the Shadow Ball now. Because, I don't know, if he switches in the Conkeldurr, it'll take a hit, and then I'll take another one. And I think that would be a 2-hit KO, given the fact that my Dragapult is still specs at the end of the day. So, here, he's going to switch it out, obviously. I think he goes back in the Clefable here, honestly. And I think I was hoping for like this to be a 2-hit KO as well, and I think unfortunately for me it was not, or maybe it was, but actually yeah, from where it was, I think it was a 2-hit KO, especially after that spit def drop. But yeah, here is gonna get leftover, so I was kind of wondering, oh wait, it might actually survive. So I just went for the Shadow Ball nonetheless, because I did want to actually get as much damage on this Clefable as possible. I think I also was confident I could take a Moonblast as well, honestly. But it didn't matter either way, because he was actually going to go for Protect again, which actually did kind of concern me a little bit, because I was kind of wondering if this was actually going to allow it to survive, honestly. The Shadow Ball, even at -1. So I was actually starting to wonder if I should just switch out, but ultimately I decided just to go for the Shadow Ball again. Just to, you know, pressure his team or something. Like, maybe he'll switch out and I'll get some free damage on something else that comes in. But at the end of the day, I think I have the advantage here. Like, even if this survives and hits me with a Moonblast, it's going to be weakened and it's not going to be able to recover. So anything on my team will be able to take it out, honestly. So I think I made the right call here. In going for Shadow Ball, that is. But yeah, here I think my opponent is aware that he is put in a tight situation, so he's probably thinking of whether or not he should switch out. He decides to stay in, and unfortunately for him, that is going to cost him the Clefable, which is good, because honestly, the hell with this Clefable. This Clefable was being annoying. But yeah, now I think though he's going to go into Gengar, I believe. I could be wrong, but I think it's the Gengar he goes into, because it's Scarf, obviously. It's either that or maybe the Conkeldurr. I don't remember again. It's been a while. And my opponent is still thinking a lot, honestly, of what to send in. Seriously, I don't know if this man even knows that we're in Sword and Shield, honestly. But yeah, the Gengar, like I anticipated. It's just that, again, it kind of makes me wonder why my opponent doesn't just know that already. But then again, we all don't know anything. Or not everything, basically. Jeez, I don't know how to talk either, honestly. There's that for you. So yeah, okay, so here obviously I don't want to take a Shadow Ball with this Dragapult. This Dragapult has been putting in work right now, so I'm gonna actually make a risky play and switch in the Tyranitar, hoping it doesn't go for Focus Blast again. So here I'm gonna set up the Sand, which is good because now I can actually take maybe a hit, because I still have the Chobo Berry and I don't think these Gengars get knockoff. So I'm gonna actually see what he goes for. He goes for Shadow Ball, which is fine with me. And here he gets a crit, but I don't think that matters as long as it's not the Spit Def drop. So here, and he's crippled as heck right now with this Gengar too, honestly, so I don't think I lose much in doing stuff. Although here I think I actually switch out. No, I don't. I'm a liar. Debated. But yeah, I go for Crunch because yeah, I still have the Chople Berry on this. So if he goes for Focus Blast and with the boosted Spadef from the Sandstorm, I should be able to take maybe one at least. I might be crippled to death, but I can still take out the Gengar. But he's not going to let that happen, obviously. He's going to switch in this freaking Ferrothorn, obviously. I get a crit with this Crunch, which is nice, and a defense drop. So I was thinking maybe this will discourage him to stay in and he'll maybe switch out. Just in case he didn't though, I actually did go out of my way to just switch up the Crunch to Fire Blast so that I don't take any more Iron Barbs damage. And yeah, so, and if he switches out, that's fine with me, honestly. I just want to like pressure again his team and just kind of hit anything that comes in, obviously just for damage. I'm already feeling really good at the fact that I already took down the Clefable. Unfortunately for me, I actually do miss the Fire Blast though, which sucks because now this thing gets to knock off my Chople Berry, which means now if Gengar comes in, I'm not going to be able to take a Focus Blast. So that sucks, obviously. But here, because I missed the freaking Fire Blast, instead of going for another one, I'm kind of just going to switch it up back to Crunch. The reason being is just because I don't want him to see the Fire Blast coming and then try to switch into Dracovish. That would be very dangerous. So I had to switch it up to Crunch here just in case he hard switches the Dracovish, predicting me to go for another Fire Blast here. Plus, I kind of felt like after seeing Fire Blast, he might just be scared away at this point. Like, I feel like he may not want to actually, you know, stay in and just, you know, take another one or try to risk taking another one. So, yeah. Or should I say the first one, because the first one didn't even hit, honestly. But, yeah. So here we're just waiting once again for the opponent to make his move because, you know, that kind of happens for some reason. This Discord app is really damn slow from what I'm seeing right now. It's usually very fast, but in this particular case, it's just very slow. Not very progressive. But yeah, he's going to switch it out now, finally. He's going to go back into the Gengar. I think to sack it, though, because I just went for the Crunch, honestly. This thing gets crippled by the rocks, and I just Crunch it. I don't know if this thing actually curse bodied me. No, it did not. I guess it just went down like that, obviously. So we got rid of the Gengar, which is good, because knowing how that thing was scarfed, it was going to be one of those mons that can actually outspeed the majority of my team. But now, unfortunately for me, here comes the elephant in the room, that is this Dracovish, basically. And now we're going to finally see the potential of this Dracovish and what it can do, obviously. So naturally, I don't want to stay in with this Tyranitar, because obviously Tyranitar doesn't take a water move from Dracovish very well. So I'm going to go to the one thing that actually naturally takes any resisted hit very, very well, and that is Ferrothorn. And check this out, bro. Oh my god. I don't know if you people have seen this, but I haven't, honestly. Well, actually I have, but like I haven't experienced it myself. He's gonna go for the Fish's Rend, and while resisted, it did that much, bro. I was like, what the fuck? What kind of monster is this? How is this thing not freaking banned? This thing resisted, and it's one of the most resilient of mons, and it actually is about to get 2-hit KO'd right here. This is where I actually was like wondering. This is where I actually was thinking the most throughout the entire match, because most of the time I kind of had an idea of what I wanted to do, but in here I was like, holy shit, I gotta know what to do here, because honestly this Dracovish be putting in a lot of work right now against this Ferrothorn, even though it hit me with a resisted move. So that kind of says a lot of what it can do already. I was debating on what the hell to send in, on whether I should actually switch out or maybe even just let this thing go down, but I couldn't make up my mind. This thing had me once again flabbergasted. I was just lost at what I could possibly do here. I was thinking of protecting to get some HP back, but I kind of figured that given the amount it did, I don't think it matters if I actually protect or not, and I kind of don't want to risk this thing being like a substitute variant, so I just went for, I think, the Power Whip, or was that Leech Seed? I don't know. I went for one of the two moves though. I think it was Power Whip, because I was fearing the substitute, unless I wanted to risk it. I don't know. But either way, I chose to lose Ferrothorn anyway, because I knew I had to lose a mon at the second that Dracovish came out. So there you have it. Now here, I think I sent out the Rotom. Yeah, I think I was debating on whether or not I should send in T-Tart to set up the Sandstorm and start crippling it, but I figured maybe that was probably a bad idea, so ultimately I went into Rotom. Because Rotom can outspeed this Dracovish, because I did look at the speed stat for Dracovish. It's not that fast, it's like only 75 base speed, and Rotom is 86, so, and I'm actually naturally speed invested with this Rotom, so I should be able to outspeed it, and I'm Scarfed, so if this is Scarfed, I can still outspeed it and get some damage. I think on the special side, it's not very good at bulk, basically. Like, I think its special defense is not that high compared to its physical defense. So, going for Volt Switch will give it a lot of damage, obviously. He is going to switch back into this this Ferrothorn of his own, obviously, though. Which is annoying, sure. But I still get Switch Initiative at the end of the day, thanks to the fact that he doesn't have any Volt Switch immunity. So here, what I'm going to do now is actually go for the Excadrill. With this Excadrill, I plan on just setting up the Swords Dance and just trying to go for game from there, honestly, even without the Sandstorm from Tyranitar, just because, I don't know, man. I feel like otherwise I'm not going to be able to take out this Ferrothorn very easily, honestly, so I just wanted to YOLO here at this moment, because otherwise, yeah. I felt like it wasn't going to be able to do much anyway. I don't know. Maybe you could have, honestly. But I don't know, I just didn't bother trying for some reason. I just wanted to set up this Swords Dance and just KO this Ferrothorn. Prevent it from being annoying. It's kind of odd that he stayed in though, because he could have easily switched into the Corviknight, but he never did, honestly. He let me get the Swords Dance up first. And I thought he would switch out now. I went for Earthquake just to make sure he doesn't try to stay in or something. But I honestly thought he would still switch out into Corviknight. I just wanted to play it safe. But he actually decided to play risky and actually ended up paying for it, because now he loses this Ferrothorn, which was a decent wall to a lot of my team. Only this Excadrill at this point could have taken it out, honestly. Well, there was also Dragapult, but again, I kind of needed Dragapult to not be locked into Fire Blast, otherwise Dracovish comes in. That's kind of what made the Specs Dragapult a little bit difficult to play against, because every time I lock myself into a move that isn't Draco Meteor, Dracovish comes in and just destroys, obviously. And I didn't want that, obviously. And on top of that, I don't know if it's even Scarfed or not, which if it is, even Fish's Rent might even be able to one-shot my my Dragapult, so, and that wouldn't be good, obviously. Well, now here, he's going to send out the Conkeldurr, and I thought it was going to Mach Punch, which I figured Guts boosted. I think it may take me out, maybe not, I don't know. I wasn't able to tell, honestly, because you're gonna see here in a bit that at the end of the day he actually doesn't end up going for Mach Punch like I thought he would. Chances are he didn't have it, otherwise why wouldn't you go for it? Or unless he was predicting me to switch out here. But honestly, given that I was at +2, I kind of didn't feel like there was any need to switch out. And on top of that, I felt like the Corviknight might have been, you know, coming. So I just wanted to still play it safe, and as a result, he possibly played it risky. I don't know, maybe he didn't have Mach Punch, I don't know, but he never went for it, so therefore I just took out the Conkeldurr as well. And I think at this point, my opponent is in fact convinced that he lost, because he is once again thinking here on what he wants to do. I think he ends up sending out his the Corviknight, which was a mon that I don't think we even got to see do much. I think it just took like a hit, and then from there just switched out. Yeah, it took the Draco Meteor from Dragapult, and then from there it just switched out, I think. But yeah, so yeah, my opponent, like I said before, he's actually gonna know that he lost at this point. So I'm just gonna go for the Iron Hit to see how much I do to the Corviknight. But unfortunately, he's just gonna run away, obviously, and we're just gonna win 4-2 basically. Which, yeah, I guess it's fine. We had 2 minutes left of the match, and it was probably gonna go to timer anyway, just because there was only 2 minutes left. I don't think there would have been enough time to Iron Hit spam the Corviknight to death, and I think he didn't want to put up with that either, honestly. So I guess it makes sense that he forfeits here in this particular matter. I usually get disappointed or even angry, honestly, when people forfeit on me, or even DC. Honestly, you all know that I have a problem with people DCing or forfeiting on me, but in this particular case, not only does it not matter, but it doesn't frustrate me as much, as most of the time when they forfeit, it's kind of logical too. Like, at the end of the day, this match was gonna go to timer anyway. I still would prefer it that they let me play to the end, basically, so that I at least have more battle time. Not to mention, I also get the nice victory theme going on when it actually says that I actually won or something. So maybe that's probably the only thing. Maybe that's why I still prefer taking the victory over, you know, not taking it, obviously. Like the video or the battle getting cancelled. Yeah, because it also shouldn't matter either way, because at the end of the day, we still don't get to save these matches as replays or anything like that, because that's not a thing in this game for some reason. But yeah, there you have it. That's going to be our match for today. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you liked it. Hopefully I didn't sound too terrible or something. I mean, I do get lost here and there, but honestly, I mean, at least you're still watching the match, honestly. I think that's what matters too, honestly. If I can't explain anything properly, I figure you guys could put 2 and 2 together, honestly. But anyways, with all that said, take it easy. Have yourselves a damn good one.